Welcome back to the No Clue Podcast, episode 165. We are back with video. Finally, I'm one of your hosts. I'm Mike.
I'm Tyler. Welcome.
We have returned.
You guys see us again. I got the fresh cut. Mike is back. Let's get right into it, man. Wildcard games are over.
That was a good football weekend, man.
Very good. Very good. I think more exciting than I thought it would be, to be honest. But
I agree. And it was more surprising than I thought it would be in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get it. Which one do you want to start with? You want to go in order?
Yeah, I think we could go in order.
So Raiders Bengals, right? Was Saturday. First game, I think.
First game. And this was, I didn't see the Bengals annihilate the Chiefs. Well, two players specifically annihilate the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I really hadn't watched them until since I don't know, like midpoint of the season.
Right.
But man, Joe Burrow is every bit as real as the hype says he is.
Yeah, he is.
You know what's crazy? Like we'll talk about a lot of young quarterbacks with the other games.
Mm-hmm.
He's a second-year guy, essentially a rookie practically.
Yeah, because the injury.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got a rookie amount of playing time.
Yep.
And he was as composed as any quarterback that played over the weekend.
Great word to use, composed. He was so composed.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
Because the Raiders, their defense isn't crazy, but the one lineman was wreaking havoc all game.
Mm-hmm.
His name Max something, I think. Max Crosby, maybe. I don't know where I'm getting Crosby, but
let me pull it up. But keep talking. I'll find it.
No, but again, their defense was not playing well except this one guy, and he kept getting pressure. He kept being in the vicinity, and Burrow was not fazed one time.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Took a hit, didn't bother him. Like occasionally missed the throw, moved right on.
Yeah, Max Crosby. You're right.
Yes, they were talking about him during the game, like the rankings. They had the rankings, and he was the only elite defender they had.
Right. And
then he started wreaking havoc, and I'm like, wow, he lived up to the hype. But man, Burrow just responded every single time.
Yep, he did. He made it look easy.
Oh yeah,
he made it look really easy.
He reminded me of because he's not really quick, but he's good at like reading where to escape.
Yeah.
And when to escape.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of like a prime Big Ben.
Okay. I like that.
Same kind of thick, like he could take contact.
Mm-hmm.
Very slow in the open field, but in tight windows, he seems to like escape for some reason.
Yeah, and he's a little bit less risky than Ben, but
of course,
he like in some ways he is, and in some ways he isn't. Like in some ways he is just as risky, but just not as often as Ben was.
Yeah, another wild stat they showed during the game is that the Bengals lead the league in big play, like I think touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
And yet Burrow was the league leader in completion percentage.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's 70%, which I was like, yo, he's going down the field and he's still this accurate?
Super accurate, yeah.
Dude, Bengals are going to be a problem.
Well, we'll get into that later, but yeah, they look great.
I don't know if they'll be a problem this playoff run. I don't know if they're ready to repeat what they did in the wild card game, but obviously the competition is going to be much tougher.
Right.
But the future looks bright.
Do you think, like, if there was something to add to their team, what do you think it would be? You think it's just the defensive end that probably could
depth on defense? Because one they also had a good, I don't remember if he was a linebacker or a lineman, but Hendrickson,
who
was also making a lot of plays. He almost caused he almost got a sack in their end zone, almost got 2 points.
Yeah.
A safety.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt, and that's when the Raiders started kind of inching back in the game.
Yeah.
Carr went from under pressure to comfortable, like literally the next drive.
Yep.
I was like, you're not gonna win in the playoffs if one guy goes down and all of a sudden you can't stop people.
Right.
So probably just depth, because obviously they got talent all over the place.
Yeah. 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 Okay. What's next? The Bills game?
This was bizarre, honestly.
Yeah, this was crazy.
I don't know if I think I've seen regular season performances like this, but to walk in that, man, with all the pressure. I mean, we talked about it last week. Like, the Bills couldn't lose this game.
Right.
They're like a favorite to make a Super Bowl run. They're so elite all over the place.
And to me, they're in a spot where, like, this is their window. They have like probably a 3-year window.
100%.
Whereas, like, this is probably the best the team is going to be.
Oh yeah, it's hard to imagine they get any better.
Right.
But what's insane, and if you watch the game, I mean, you probably didn't make it all the way through. There was no reason to.
Right.
I had the game up. Obviously, I kind of stopped paying attention to it, but I still was like noticing all the big plays and stuff, and it was bizarre how unstoppable Josh Allen looked.
He was insane.
I mean, when they talk about paying people a lot of money and giving guys like top tier contracts off potential,
this was one of those games.
That is what I'm looking for when I say I'm potential.
Yeah.
I want when my quarterback's at his best, the defense is hopeless.
Yep.
And that's what New England looked. Every time they had him, he got through. He ran it. He has a cannon for an arm. It's insane.
Yep.
And it's just like, when he's focused, that's all the Bills need. They need Josh Allen to wake up locked in that day.
Mm-hmm.
Because that Josh Allen that I saw on Saturday, I was like, dude, I don't care. Forget the criticisms I've had. Like, I'll take those with this.
Right. His vision looked amazing.
I know he's seeing the field, exactly what I complained about.
And it's what I complained about too, what I never see any other time. I think he misses wide open guys so often. And then this game, he was hitting everybody. He only had 4 incompletions.
Dude, they kept scoring every drive. Like, dude, I've never seen New England get exposed this bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Man.
Really bad.
And Bill Belichick, like, I don't know if you read the story that he went into the Bills locker room after to congratulate him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, normally I'd be like, that's crazy, but after that performance, I completely understand.
Yeah, he had to give it up. Because, I mean, there's nothing to even be bitter about when a team is this on fire, you know?
Yeah, it's scary because no other quarterback could dominate like that.
No, not really.
Not like that. He's got like the best of Lamar and the best of Mahomes when he's clicking.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have like the creativity that Mahomes has on the run.
Yeah, and he's not quite as quick as Lamar, but I mean,
but he's
your
bigger.
Point is valid.
He, like, for the speed that he doesn't have with Lamar, he's bigger. He could take hits.
Yeah.
It's just, man, he is really like he can be scary good.
He's like Cam Newton 2.0.
Yeah, that MVP Cam Newton year where I'm like, dude, how the fuck is the league gonna stop him?
Yeah. That's
what Josh Allen is looking like.
Yep. 98.5 QBR.
Jesus. and I actually think Mac Jones played better than I thought he would.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought this game New England was gonna have more impact defensively. I didn't think Mac was gonna, make a huge impact on the game, but I definitely thought the defense would be better.
And that hasn't, their blueprint all year has been defense, like everything but the throwing game, passing game.
Right. Let's keep it simple for Mac, and let's do everything else.
Yeah. So if, coming into the game, if you told me that the Bills were going to get in the shootout, no, Patriots are done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, this was impressive. I can't lie.
Very impressive. Yeah. Okay. Next game. What can you say, man? It's the Bucs and the Eagles. It's Tom Brady, man. That's really. I don't think anyone thought the Eagles had much of a chance in this game.
No.
I mean, we pointed out the ways the Eagles could probably make an impact on the game, but at the end of the day, we know what time it is. Tom's not going home first round in a wild card game with the Eagles.
Yeah, not to the Eagles. I will say the Eagles disappointed me with how incompetent they looked.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting to the playoffs was a plus for their coach, who's kind of been on the not hot seat, but teetering on the verge of it.
In his first year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He had all the random stuff. He was saying nonsense early in the year.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying he was going to get fired because he got the team to the playoffs. That's really impressive considering the roster.
But they only beat losing record teams.
Oh yeah. When you deep dive their playoff appearance, doesn't look nearly as good.
But there's a positive to say about that because you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, right? That's what you
100%.
need from a coach, and they did that. But man, Jalen Hurts can't be out there by himself either. Not that he played good in this game, but he led the team in rushing yards. Yeah, it's not going to work.
I almost wanted more, if I'm being honest. I'm watching the game, and every time they pass, I'm like, I don't know, man. Y'all seem all right just running the ball.
No, I agree. Because, he led the team in rushing yards with only 39 yards. It's not like he had 89 yards to let him. It's like, yeah. And then
Tampa Bay's defense played better than I thought they would.
I know, with guys missing, so many guys missing.
Right. So that was, once I saw the first couple drives that the defense was playing well, I'm like, man, Eagle, you had a good year, good luck in the offseason.
Yeah. Yep. All right, moving on. This is the game. 49ers and the Cowboys.
This was hard to watch. This is I honestly, there's so many places to start.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start with I was right. I called it.
Mm-hmm.
I literally said San Francisco would be more physical. They would run the ball much better.
Yeah.
And when you could do those things, you control the game.
Right.
But Dallas,
go ahead.
If this isn't a wake-up call that Dallas is not good enough, I don't know what would be.
That just Dallas or somebody specific?
Oh, there's a lot of specifics. A lot of specific names come to mind that aren't good enough.
Right.
Let's just compare team to team. And I should have done this last episode, to be honest, because if you really compare star to star, you see how flawed the Cowboys' strategy to be a great team is.
Mm-hmm.
The highest paying quarterback played for the Cowboys in this game.
Right.
I couldn't tell you who the best quarterback in this game was.
Right.
The highest paid running back was Ezekiel Elliott. the 49ers had a minimum of 2 running backs better than him.
Mm-hmm. They only
Even
needed
the guy Ayuk who got like 2 carries. I got more excited watching him run the ball than Zeke.
Right. And they were really off receptions.
Think about like just those. Before I move on, think about how much they pay those 2 guys.
Bro, Ezekiel Elliott had less rushing yards than Jalen Hurts did in his game.
That tells you all you need to know.
And more carries.
Just you can't structure your organization around star power and then not have it in important games.
Right.
And then question, why are we losing? Because your max contract quarterback played like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wishes he played like Jimmy Garoppolo in this game.
At times, exactly. No, but like Elijah Mitchell, who just got to the league, better than Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
Just Deebo Samuel alone. Deebo Samuel deserves the money that Amari Cooper and Ezekiel Elliott make combined.
Yeah.
And that's an insane number.
Yeah.
So again, Amari's the highest paid receiver on the field. He was the best receiver was in a 49ers uniform.
Might have been Deebo Samuel too.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Best
he didn't
tight
have the
end.
most yards, but he had the second most receptions.
Yeah. I mean, you look at they have the 49ers had the better tight end, even though he didn't play that well. I saw better line play from the 49ers all game. That's why they could run the ball.
Yep.
That's why Dak Prescott played like Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, their linebackers are just as good. Oh, I heard Trayvon Diggs all year. Where was he?
Nowhere to be found.
I heard Micah Parsons all year. You can't just not play like trash. I need you to explode on the field.
0 sacks.
All year. Micah Parsons, oh my God, like so incredible. Defensive player of the year candidate. He just made basic plays.
Yeah.
Didn't have any momentum plays. Didn't pop out on the field. Was virtually non-existent. Yeah. Was just as good as like any of their line, like Vander Esch, who's been average for a long time too, by the way.
Yep.
So again, your organization is the entire culture is we pay stars and then we explode offensively or wherever your stars are. And the 49ers are better with your strategy. They're better. Their stars are better. They have a culture. Their coaching is better. Organizationally, the 49ers are better at essentially everything on the field.
Yep.
Think about that. Think about how demoralizing that is.
It is. And 49ers just had way more composure in this game. Dallas just looked desperate for 80% of the game.
They look like they've never been there before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Garoppolo been there. A lot of their guys have been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like you said, we go back to the word composure.
Yeah.
I saw it on so many occasions from the 49ers. I'm not sure if I ever saw it from the Cowboys.
I didn't.
And
we're not even
bothers
going to
me.
talk about the last play.
Oh, dude, what is there to talk about? Dude, even it's bad because when you talk about the overall game, the really loyal Cowboy fans, they're still delusional as always.
Mm-hmm.
And they're blaming the refs because you couldn't fucking play by the rules, but that's another complaint that we don't need to get into.
Right.
Even those loyal fans are sick at the call.
Yeah.
A draw with 14 seconds? And they had the nerve after the game to talk about they executed in practice. You lead the league in penalties. Why do you even practice? Oh my God. And then Dak Prescott encouraging the fucking fans to throw shit at the ref. Like, yo, Dak, where the fuck were you?
What did he say? Good for them, or good on their part?
Yeah, good for them. And he like apologized, whatever. But honestly, man, I really, it bothers me that Mike McCarthy is like getting the majority of the blame, because he was the problem all year long.
Yeah.
You couldn't manage the clock all year long. You were getting penalties costing you games. Remember I talked about week 2, they played the Chargers. They barely got the win. And week 2, I was talking about, goddamn, Dallas, how many penalties are we going to have?
Right.
They didn't have that conversation, apparently, because they just kept on fucking getting called for shit.
Yep.
And I've never watched 14 penalties and not question one of them. Not one time
they
was
were
like,
all obvious.
Yeah. Every
and
time.
The last one when he I forgot what he was in. I think it was a holding.
When he just tackles the guy.
Yeah, for nothing. Like, what were you doing?
And towards the end, Dallas was like expecting to get penalties.
Yeah, they were.
Early in the game, you could see frustration. Late in the game, it looked like part of the goddamn game plan.
Yeah. I never get that about football players. They like how they let dumb penalties just not faze them. They don't talk to the player about it. They just like, all right, next play.
I know. It's insane.
Yeah.
All I could think about watching and the reason I don't blame Mike McCarthy, no more than usual.
Yeah.
Is because you paid Dak Prescott like he was Josh Allen. Like he was Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I was gonna say like better than Josh Allen.
He's literally whoever's in the top tier of quarterbacks. Let's say Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and that's probably it.
Right.
You pay him like he belonged in that 3. You go to a wild card game, and he gets outplayed by Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. Clearly, too. No question about it. Outplayed.
Insanity.
Yep. Cowboys suck.
Their stars are all overpaid.
CeeDee Lamb's going to get overpaid, too.
He is, too. And, of course, the guy who made your offense explosive, let's get him 1 target or 1 reception.
Right. Right. I don't know how they've kept Zeke this long. I really don't. How they kept him and still play him as much as they do with him doing basically nothing.
I don't even think he was the 3rd best running back. Tony Pollard's like 3 carries look better than anything Zeke did.
Yeah, basically. All right. I don't have much to say about this one either. Steelers and Chiefs.
This was the only game I turned off of the entire weekend. I left the Josh Allen. I left Monday's game up.
Yeah.
I was good on this one.
Great career, Ben Roethlisberger. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the memories. 7. Then the last 3 quarters, that's what they had. 7, 7, and 7.
It's kind of disappointing because he's probably a top 10. Like he's statistically a top 10 quarterback.
Statistically, he might be top 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because you look at his career like, damn, he could have been better.
Yeah.
That's what sucks.
He's had a lot of adversity.
Yeah.
2 of his teammates are like, out of control behavior-wise now. Probably the 2 best teammates he had in the last decade.
Yeah.
And then the other teammates he has, every time they had a young guy show a lot of promise, they were gone. They never got re-signed over and over again. And obviously part of that is probably leadership. It wasn't there like some of the other guys. But yeah, I always liked Ben. So congrats to retirement. If he's retiring, he still won't come out and really say, yo, I'm done.
I mean, with Ben, you never know, because I mean, he was saying the stupid shit before the game, how like they had no chance at all. Yeah. So let's just go have fun. Ben was an on the field leader. He wasn't a vocal leader. I could tell you that.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had a great career.
Chiefs looked great.
It took him a second though.
It did, yeah.
First quarter was bad. Yeah, a couple bad. First quarter was rough, pretty much all around. Then they had the scoop and score for the Steelers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, are they gonna have to play under pressure? And then I guess that was all the pressure they needed because they were unstoppable after that.
Yeah, he was going like straight to the end zone every possession, pretty much.
And it was nice to see Kelsey play very well.
Yep, Kelsey played good. Tyreek looked good. McKinnon played fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic.
They're always sneaky. I also like that they always start to run the ball more come playoff time.
Yeah,
because Andy Reid's been around a long time. He knows how it works. So I like the balance I saw.
Yep. Now, I would say this was the best matchup of the wild card games.
I was very excited for this.
Arizona versus LA. Kyler Murray versus Matthew Stafford. Kyler Murray's receiving team versus Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham, and Van Jefferson. Basically.
No DeAndre Hopkins.
Right. Which was proved to be a complete disaster.
But it shouldn't, because when Hopkins was playing, he wasn't doing what the Bengals guys doing.
Yeah, he wasn't fed like that.
Yeah, he wasn't like dominating their offense.
Not even like Diggs or
no.
Not even as much as like Tyreek Hill. Huh?
Yeah. None of the number. I think he's one of the bottom tier, like number one guys as far as how many touches he gets.
Yeah. He's almost oh man, what's his name? He had from the Titans. Just came to the Titans. I can't believe I forgot his name right now.
Talking about Derrick Henry?
No, he just got there, the receiver.
Julio Jones.
Yeah, like Julio is kind of like that for them now because they don't feed him at all. But we know what time it is if he does get the ball. That's kind of how Hopkins is. But
a complete disaster.
It was a complete disaster, man. This is one of the worst games. Out of all the Jalen Hurts played bad.
Patriots
obviously played bad. All these guys that played bad. Kyler Murray by far played the worst. I mean, he just straight up played bad. It wasn't like, Jalen Hurts has no weapons. Ben is 45 years old. Kyler Murray is a spring chicken. And
go down the list. We watched Derek Carr, Joe Burrow,
both played
Josh Allen, Mac Jones, Dak Prescott.
All of them played better. Yeah.
Just every quarterback that played, I mentioned with Burrow, composure.
Yeah.
I saw even Dak Prescott, who was awful. I saw his last touchdown throw, composure.
It was, yeah.
Kyler Murray didn't have composure till the game was over.
He was just waiting for it to end.
He was just, he looked so impatient.
Yeah, he did.
That's what threw me off.
Nervous, so rushed.
Yeah, he was so like jittery. He kept escaping for no reason. Yeah. Like he was just uncomfortable. And it's not, I mean, the defense played great, but initially it was just him making really bad throws.
It was.
And not letting the routes develop, not seeing the field.
Yep.
I got to this game late because I was going to get food.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Monday night, you got to watch, for those of you who don't, you got to watch the Peyton and Eli. So funny.
It is. Yeah.
And I'm sure you saw. So I got to the game a little bit before the infamous play that pretty much ended it.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to the game. I'm setting up, kind of keeping an eye like, wow, Arizona's on the verge of defeat already.
Yeah.
All right, they got to make something happen. And they get the ball backed up to their own end zone. I finally get comfortable. And The Rock, by the way, is being interviewed by Peyton and Eli. And they asked him to give like motivational, like something to hype the Cardinals to get back in the game.
Yeah.
And he's hitting like the verse lyrics that he hit on Tech Nine's song. So he's saying all this random, like, stupid motivational shit.
Yeah.
And then Kyler makes the dumbest fucking play I've seen all year.
Yeah. That was like Carson Wentz status.
Oh, dumb. Yeah. That was the play he threw against the Titans when he just, like, threw it up in the end zone.
Yeah.
This was just as dumb.
It was.
Honestly, you're falling down. What are you thinking?
Just take the 2 points, man. It's just 2 points versus 7.
2 points. Again, you're throwing it up. Dude, y'all are getting ran over right now.
Yeah.
Like at that point, the defense was coming at them every play because they knew they were the pressure was getting to them. You know, every time the quarterback plays like trash, every defense sends blitzes.
Yeah. So and this is the team, the ultimate blitz team. Aaron Donald, Von Miller. I mean,
I know
they're coming for you,
bro. This when he's about to fall and he throws it up. I'm like, I was dumbfounded. I'm eating, and I almost spit my food out. Like, bro, you learn this in Pee-wee, like in high school football. You learn this.
Yeah.
Like, bro, don't gamble. Like, if we fucked up, take the L. Don't make the L worse.
Yeah. That was who David Long Jr. got that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And by the way, The Rock with the best reaction of everything. The Rock goes, well, good time for this, and grabs a tequila bottle and just drinks it straight out the bottle. Oh my God. I was in tears, man. One of the funniest things I've seen.
Man, it was. There's just no positives I can say about Kyler Murray in this game. Not one.
This is another game where the coach who had a career, not saving, but like career, like a good thing on his resume, a good year, right? Like you look at Cliff Kingsbury, the Cardinals have gotten better every year.
Yeah.
Going into this, you're looking at Cliff Kingsbury like, is he one of the better coaches?
Right.
And then the game happens and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was my reaction. I'm like, how did you win? How did you start 9-2?
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
And we should have noticed this because, and I think some people did, because they were losing to fucking Lions and other teams.
Yeah.
And the only time they looked elite like they did early in the year was against the bum-ass Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And my dumbass took that like they're back to normal, where I really should have looked at it as questionable competition that they're playing.
Yeah, true. Yeah. The Rams didn't let them do anything that they wanted to do. Obviously, they didn't let Kyler do anything. And, you know, Stafford looked okay. I'm glad Odell got a touchdown. You know, Cooper Kupp looked cool. Sony Michel and Cam Akers were just rubbing barbecue sauce all over Arizona's defense and eating them up.
It looked bad.
I don't know how the Patriots let Sony Michel go, by the way, because he's been great his whole time in the league.
He's been productive everywhere.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, even Stafford had a couple of nice runs.
This was just
Really nice
domination
runs.
all around.
It was.
This is like the Cardinals said, we're not just going to lose the game. We're going to make it extra dangerous for the other teams.
Yeah.
Because now the Rams, if I'm in the playoffs, I'd much rather see San Francisco than Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I mean, San Francisco, they could beat me, but we know the philosophy. We know what they're going to look like. The Rams could easily beat Tampa Bay playing their way. Mm-hmm. They could easily beat Green Bay anyway.
Yep.
So it's going to be a tough one, man.
It is. So let's get into the matchups. We got the Bengals and the Titans, 49ers, Packers, Rams, Bucks, Bills, Chiefs. Bengals and Titans, who you got?
Man,
I think this is the closest one to call. At least for me, it is.
Yeah, this could go so many ways because Henry's just coming back.
Yeah.
So I don't know what – we know they're going to give him 25 carries, which I love Tennessee for that. But,
yeah,
I don't know, man. This is such a good matchup because the Bengals have so many playmakers. I will pick the Titans because I really like their coach, Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's often like made the team look better than they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'll be prepared for the Bengals. So I'm going to slightly pick the Titans.
Yeah, and the Titans are at home also. So, I mean, if you value that, some people value that. So that may be...
You know, it's funny.
Swinging a little bit, huh?
It's funny that Ryan Tannehill now has come such a long way that he is a good enough starter to get into a slump and play out of it.
Yeah, he is.
Like 4, 5, 6 years ago, if Tannehill had the 4-pick game after Henry gets hurt,
yeah. So
you might be looking at a new quarterback in Tennessee.
For sure.
But I like that they're sticking with him, man. I think he's responded very well multiple times.
Yeah, I do too. Yep. Okay. I'm going to go with Titans too, by the way. Next, 49ers and Packers. Who you got there?
I think the Packers are going home.
Really?
Again.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers has never beaten San Francisco in the playoffs.
Right.
0-4.
Okay.
He's gotten dominated multiple times while being the favorite.
So you think this 49ers team is capable of dominating the Packers?
I don't think they're going to dominate the Packers. The Packers are as complete as they've ever been.
Yeah.
So obviously it wouldn't surprise me if I'm completely wrong.
Yeah.
But one thing I've seen in the Packers so many years since their Super Bowl win is they're by the second round, they're the softest team left.
Yeah. You're right about that.
That's okay. That's okay when you get a good, like, say if the Cowboys won and you ended up playing them, you can still win that.
For sure.
49ers, they're built to succeed in the playoffs.
They are.
I mean, this Cowboy game, they're talking about it being close only because of Garoppolo's one disgusting throw.
Right.
I mean, the 4th and inches that they had a false start on was idiotic too, but two mistakes. If they remove those 2 mistakes, you're looking at a blowout.
Right.
And I think they're going to be able to run the ball just the same because they're so creative at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're very physical all over the place. I think Garoppolo prior to that pick was making really smart throws.
Right.
So I'm confident that the 49ers could upset them.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with him.
Okay. Okay. Rams and Bucks.
I can't doubt TB12.
Yeah, me either.
I will say if it was flipped, if they were playing the 49ers, I'd pick Tampa Bay much easier to beat the 49ers than the Packers.
You pick Tampa Bay. Oh, okay.
Over if they were playing the 49ers.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And I think I'd pick Green Bay over the Rams as well.
Right.
But Tampa Bay, man, again, like Tom Brady just has this team locked in.
Yeah.
Greatest leader ever, probably.
I would say so. Yeah, I agree.
And you're looking at, I mean, this team, to go through what they went through to close the year out, to have as many injuries as they have, they look perfectly complete.
They do.
With all those people missing.
Yeah, they do.
It's crazy. That's TB12 right there. Guys stepping up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay on that one too.
I mean, how many times have you picked not Tom Brady and been wrong? Because I've done it a lot. And like up until he had like 4 or 5 Super Bowls, I was picking against him all the time.
Yeah, enough. I've done it enough to not do it again. That's for sure. To know not to do it anymore. And okay, my favorite matchup: Bills and Chiefs. Who you got? I got the Chiefs, but Bills look good. They look really good.
You said the first game was the toughest to predict.
Yeah.
No individual player is tougher to predict than Josh Allen.
That's true.
Especially quarterbacks.
Yeah. I think I have more confidence in the Chiefs defense than I do the Bills defense. Like I have more confidence in the Chiefs defense against Josh than the Bills defense against Pat.
You know what? I think the Chiefs will play very well, actually, because I think they've been looking for motivation a lot the last like year and a half, considering how easy it is for them.
Yeah.
And there's this weird trend of people who think that like Buffalo is becoming better than Kansas City. Or has the potential to be better. Like if anybody in the AFC will challenge Kansas City, it'll be the Buffalo.
Right.
So
it's a lot of people actually.
I think the Chiefs know that. And I think they're going to be looking, especially off how they lost early in the year to them.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a strong response. I'm sticking with the Chiefs too.
Good call. I completely agree. Everything you said makes perfect sense to me. And Mahomes is one of those guys. Like,
but you know what's scary?
I heard y'all talking kind of guy.
This round, I hate predicting this round because one of the teams that has home court is gonna come out flat.
Yeah, for sure.
Every playoffs I've ever watched in football, one of the teams that doesn't play in the wild card round plays like absolute trash when they finally step up.
Yep.
My money is it's gonna be the Packers. But
I think it's gonna be one of the Saturday games for sure.
You never know.
Packers or the Titans. I hope it's not either of the Sunday games though, because those games are gonna be really intense. If Tom comes out flat, Tom is like, Mr. Fourth Quarter of the NFL. So he can come out flat and they still may win by 3 touchdowns. So
I can see that too.
Yeah. All right, real quick, let's take a break. All right, we're back. So that's our NFL talk for the day. Well, you want to get to tennis first?
Or I mean, I haven't watched too much of actual tennis.
I mean,
I did see Osaka lose, but that was it was interesting. It was interesting to see her play for the first time in a long time.
Yeah,
nice to see her enjoying tennis, but
hopefully
the Djokovic thing. is really putting a fucking stain on it.
It really is, man. This is like their asterisk tournament now, because without Djokovic, is like, did you really win?
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
supposedly the French Open, he's not going to be allowed to play in it also.
Right.
Which obviously it frustrates me. Like, we talk about dudes doing dumb shit off the court, off the field. I want to see these guys play.
Yeah.
Like, I hate Kyrie Irving, but the league is better when he's playing.
Right.
Tennis is the same thing. Djokovic is the top tier.
Yeah.
To me, by himself.
Yeah.
And for him to, I mean, like, again, everybody said it, in advance, you should have prepared for this.
Yep.
So, a lot of it is self-inflicted, the problems he's dealing with now. And you could just see it in the way the other players talked about it.
I think I'm well documented that on this podcast, Djokovic is my favorite tennis player ever. This is just disappointing, man. First of all, like you said, he knew this way before. The fact that this got cut to 2 days before the tournament was just idiotic to me. Not calling him an idiot, but it was idiotic. I'm done fighting about the vaccine. I haven't been fighting about it, but I'm saying I'm over the vaccine talk thing.
Me too.
But it's just come on, man. All the fighting afterwards, the going to court 3 or 4 times, winning the first time, losing the next 2 times, and now it's just all this mess. And I'm not really cool with them questioning players about it. To me, I really think that's whack, because the questions are alley-oops to be dishonest. Really, if you ask Nadal how does he feel about Djokovic not playing in a tournament, Nadal in reality would say, "Oh, it's great. Finally, I got I might have an easy road.
light work."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he has to say, "Oh man, it sucks for the sport because Djokovic should be out here." Come on, man. You know he's lying. We all know he's lying.
Yeah.
And everyone they ask about it, it's these G-rated answers about it is just, it's annoying to me. But Djokovic, man, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I don't want to call it stupid, because at least it only affects him, opposed to the other guy we talk about all the time, that it affects 12 other players, 5 other coaches, the whole city. Tennis is a solo sport. Yeah, individual sport. So it's you take that L, then,
he's taking responsibility. I mean, he at least took responsibility for the scheduling nonsense, or his travel history or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. So, and I guess my thing is I hope they know that it's not ending. The vaccine mandates and stuff.
Yeah, just because they just got defeated in court, I think, for work, the federal court, I think, stopped the workplace mandate.
Right.
But they're gonna keep trying, because every time a COVID outbreak happens, you want it not to happen next time.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And the solution to at least keep people healthy and safe for as much as possible seems obvious,
right?
But apparently not to everyone. Not everybody sees it like that. So,
right. Yeah. Okay. NBA. Do you have somewhere you want to start?
Nothing specific. I mean, I shouted out Dallas last time, and we could start there, because they look like they're emerging.
They do.
Their defense, they're playing defense, getting stops.
Yeah.
Luka's not hiding on the one trash can on the court anymore.
Yep.
I there's better chemistry between him and the team.
I see the team get way more shots with him in the game now than I did beginning of the
Yeah.
season. Yeah.
And
The end of last season.
It's interesting. They had this kind of path last year.
Yeah.
Luka comes in within 10, 15 games. Oh, he's out of shape. He gets a slight injury to miss like a week, 2, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he's using that time to get in shape because he's looked much better since he came back, much more active, much more willing to play team basketball.
Yeah.
And it's showing.
Yeah. I also think, I want to give Jason Kidd a slight shout out because the way they're moving the ball is something that I won't say Carlisle couldn't do, but it looks a little bit different to me. I think guys are getting more into their positions better for shots. Like I see players in, like I mentioned last time, those hot zones. I see everyone on Dallas in their hot zone now, like and nowhere else. Like they get shots exactly where they're supposed to get shots. I don't see Finney Smith taking top of the key jumpers. I see him in the corners. I see him in the, lobs. I see him cutting back door. I see Kleber top of the key or corner. Like that's it. I don't want all these guys and all these weird spots and the weird spacing. And spacing looks great. Dwight Powell looks like a freak athlete all of a sudden.
I know. You know what I think rallied them? That Golden State game that they won when Dirk retired.
Yeah.
Since then, they've been one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
And when you get stops like the way they hadn't been doing prior, that shows like a team commitment to play better.
Right. You know what that kind of tells me? I think Luka they need more veterans on this team. Like real veterans, not like guys who've been on the Mavericks for a long time.
Yes.
Because I do think that Luka is someone who can be infected very easily. Like if there's someone on the team that's contagious, Luka will catch on. But right now, no one on the team is like that. So like he came back to a team that was kind of feeling it. They were hot for a while. Brunson was hot. Finney Smith was hot. Porzingis was kind of catching his stride. And then Luka like could jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
But if he had someone with a little more seasoning that could bring that every night, someone like Dragic, Dragic is going to be available. I know he wants to go to the Mavericks apparently, so they could have Team Slovenia down there, I guess.
I like it.
But if he had someone like that who brings that intensity that he can catch on to every night, they might get scary. They might get scary.
Yeah, man.
I like them.
He needs, I don't know, man. I feel like he needs like a best friend in Dallas. Luka, I mean.
He does.
I feel like he doesn't have it, and it there's like a weird separation between Luka and the Mavericks. I just doesn't feel like one unit yet. But
what it kind of reminds
going
me
in the
of?
right direction.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? I mean, you of all people should remember this. You remember the everybody eats situation?
Yes, I remember that.
Wall went out.
Yes.
The team started looking like the best team.
Was just eating off of that, I remember.
They looked like the best team in the league without him. And then he came back for a short time, and they were still fire. Just for a short time. They were still really, really, really fire. But then, then we come to find out him and Beal weren't really friends anymore. I don't know. The guys sold their Rolexes or something like it. The coach, him and the coach weren't getting along. Like all these other stuff came out after he came back, but after they still looked great. I'm not saying that's going to happen with the Mavericks, but I'm saying I agree with you. does he have someone that's really in his corner right now that when something like this happens, it's not just Luka looking in the mirror for motivation?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think Dragic should be a great potential guy for that.
Yeah, I do too. I still want them to trade Porzingis, but if it's if they make it work with Porzingis, that's cool too. But I think they're getting such a fraction of Porzingis on this team, and maybe that's all they need. But if they could access the rest of it, they really wouldn't need anybody else. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm looking at their roster, and I'm like we talk a lot about teams that are approaching contending, they're a move away, they're a roster adjustment away.
Yeah.
Dallas could improve to the point where they're as good as any of the Western teams.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited for their upside.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I do. If they can just get all of Hardaway Jr. for every other game, if they could get all of Porzingis every other game, they would be straight. They would be they'd probably be top 4 seed in the West.
They're gonna need it 4 out of 7 games, whoever they play.
Well, I could promise you they're not getting 4 good games out of Hardaway. And
because Hardaway is the type to play three great games and 4 garbage games.
Yeah.
And you lose that 7-game series. So, that's tough. Yeah.
And Porzingis will give you 1 fire game, and the rest of the games will just be all right enough for them to suck.
Yeah.
So it's
oh, that tall guy. He's so skilled. Why doesn't he get the ball more?
Yeah. And why doesn't he get open shots? He has to use his 7'3" height to shoot over everybody.
Everybody else can get open shots anytime, but Porzingis, it's a struggle.
Right. The Los Angeles Lakers. We talked about them in depth last episode, but Westbrook has officially been benched. And not benched all the time, but Vogel has permission now to bench Westbrook whenever he feels necessary. Westbrook was benched for the 4th quarter of this most recent game that they lost to. Who'd they lose to?
Indiana,
right? Yeah.
Letting LeVert go to his right hand.
LeVert ended up with 30, I believe.
Even though in a pregame shoot around, as according to Frank Vogel, we focused on LeVert getting to his right hand and stopping him from doing that.
And Westbrook claims he's done everything they've asked him to do. So
he said that?
Yeah. You didn't hear that?
Nah. I didn't hear that.
Westbrook said, this is from Woj. Westbrook says, Woj just posted this. Surprise, yes. I was disappointed I didn't go back in, but I'm more disappointed that we lost the damn game. And then he says, ultimately, you have to be okay when it doesn't go well, and I'm okay. I've done everything that's been asked of me here, and I'll continue to do so and ride this out as long as we can toward our ultimate goal, and that's to win a championship.
A first round exit. Oh, sorry. Yeah. yeah, championship, right?
To me, anytime a player says ride this out, that means they know they're going to get traded.
I was going to say, those words sound like the words of a guy who's not going to be playing there much longer.
Ride this out. You don't ride out playing on your, like being happy playing on a team. That's not riding out. What are you riding out? So, Sabonis, 20, 12, and 10.
I've done everything I've asked, or that's been asked of me.
shooting
Frank
5 for
Vogel,
17.
Frank
Negative.
Vogel asks you to throw the ball away routinely. He asks you to dribble like you just came in off of eating popcorn. Just losing the ball like you didn't warm up your handle enough all the time, every game.
He is the lowest plus minus on the team. He has, I want to say he leads them in fouls. I can't confirm that, but he in this game particularly,
none of the other scrubs play enough to foul as much as him.
That's true. Yeah. In this game particularly,
but he's hurt.
He was 5 for 17 in this game.
Dude, it's like a natural thing for him to take a LeBron amount of shots and to produce like he's Austin Reeves having a good night.
He shot 66% from the free throw line. This is atrocious.
Disgusting.
For a point guard, this is ridiculous.
Again, how can you, first of all, you're emphasizing a scouting report. You can't prepare a scouting report for guys that already play with no IQ.
Right.
Why are you even, you shouldn't even bother with a scouting report. I've never seen, dude, I watched Westbrook for years get absolutely obliterated by Tony Parker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, embarrassed like multiple years.
Yeah.
And I kept watching and thinking, like, Tony Parker is great, but he's not this great.
Right.
And then I'm watching it. High IQ plays. He makes correct reads. And Westbrook, meanwhile, is just clueless.
Yeah. Yep. Can I read you some more Westbrook stats? This is actually really fun to read. These.
So bad.
Sunday, January 2nd. Westbrook had 9 turnovers. On what day is this?
On
Sunday
Friday.
the 9th, Westbrook shot 16% from the field. The next game, the 12th, he shot 14% from the field. In every game from the 2nd to the 12th, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, Westbrook made 0 threes in 5 games.
Oh, in 2022, his 3-point percentage is just nothing. Has he made one?
It's 25%. Yeah.
Oh.
He made 4 in the Indiana game. He shot 0 free throws, and he was shooting 29% from the field, but he made 4 threes.
Wow. So how many threes did he take if he made 4? Ain't no way
6.
He went 4 for 6.
Yeah.
And still found a way to break a bunch of other shots.
For 2022, he's what is it? He's okay. 1, 2, he's 6'4", 10, 12, 17, 18, 19, 24. 6 for 24. Yeah, man.
The Lakers, look, LeBron had his month of dominance.
Yeah.
But the Lakers are just such a mess. LeBron, it's so bad. Forget Vogel's job. Forget how awful Russell Westbrook has been.
Yeah.
Forget even that when Magic Johnson says these guys are pathetic.
Yeah.
And they have to come out and apologize. Have you ever seen a star player have to go on Twitter or wherever he went and say, I'm sorry, fan base. We've been some shit. We got to be better. Has that ever happened?
LeBron's the only one I've ever seen do that.
That's how bad it is in Los Angeles right now.
Yeah. And he's done it twice for LA, I think. But this is the ultimate. I mean, it's terrible. But the crazy thing is, man, Westbrook should not be making them this bad. Like Westbrook alone should not make them this bad.
And he's not. Their effort is what makes them so awful.
Exactly.
Melo looks like he's given up.
Yeah, he does.
Melo routinely doesn't even try to get stops, doesn't hit rebounds the same way he used to. He's okay missing or not taking shots.
Yep.
How about you work to get open? That's the problem with this team. That's the problem with this team. No fucking effort, no energy, no commitment to one another. And then they're confused why they're losing.
Well, they average like an astronomical amount of fouls as a team. Like I don't have the exact like number, but Stanley Johnson averages 4 fouls a game. Westbrook averages 3 fouls a game. Horton Tucker 3 fouls a game. Anthony Davis is in there, but 2 fouls a game. Carmelo 2 fouls. LeBron 2 fouls. Bazemore 2 fouls. That's like 12. That's like 15 fouls just by themselves, just like the starting 5.
Oh, the Lakers, they're so unwatchable too. Like it's not the losing. Really. Magic Johnson wouldn't trash the team if they were just losing.
Right.
It's obviously in how disgusting you're playing.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to get it, which I think is why Vogel's going to be gone. But what's bizarre is we talked about it, and I talked to a lot of people in the offseason about it. And I said in the offseason that if the Lakers are serious about being great, Westbrook won't be playing by the playoff time.
Yeah. We both said that a lot on this podcast.
I mean, people were laughing at me. I'm talking about, yo, buy his ass out. Who's going to do that? Oh, my, no way. That much money? No way. Look at what's fucking happening now.
I know.
You got no options to do with him. You have nothing you could do.
Nobody's trading for. You'd have to be a really lost soul to trade for Westbrook, as a team.
So obviously buying him out, they're not going to do that. But if they're serious about at least moving up in the standings a little bit, or maybe fighting to not be in the play-in, Westbrook will be DNP CD by the last 20 games of the season.
Yeah.
It's not like that. That's my problem. You're benching him for the last 3.5 minutes of the game.
He was way beyond that.
He's playing like trash at all times.
Right.
He shouldn't be playing. Coach Vogel said it. Vogel summed it up perfectly. Coach, I don't know what they asked him, but some about, why Russ wasn't in the game the last 3.5 minutes. Yeah. Vogel said, I went with the guys I thought would help us win the game. There's no competent basketball mind has been watching Russell Westbrook. Oh, yeah, he can help me win the game.
Right.
Look at how pathetic the Lakers are defending him. It's all like, oh, we got to help him out. They'll like stutter, be like, we got to help him figure it out. Like,
yeah.
If he continues to play 30 plus minutes and it costs them positioning to be in the playoffs, he's going to be out of there. He's not going to be in the rotation.
I agree.
And I will have I already respect Vogel for benching him. But if LeBron or Vogel put their foot down and say, it's time to DNP this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you're serious about winning then. That's what that tells me.
Yep.
But like you said, the 9 turnovers, I'm doing everything I'm asked. Huh? Who asked you to turn the ball over like this?
Bro, you
can't make free. Bro, I'm asking you to make 70% of your free throws. You're not doing that.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, at least shoot like 35%. not fucking 15.
Yeah.
No self-awareness.
Yeah. I'm with you.
What are you gonna fix when the guy has no self-awareness? That's why he keeps playing the same way.
Yep.
It was bizarre 10, 15, 20 games into the season. It is an embarrassment at this point.
He's made no adjustments to how he's playing. He's made no adjustments to his mindset. I don't think Vogel has made adjustments to the team to like adjust to how Westbrook is playing. I haven't seen, like, obviously I know it's on the player to an extent, but I haven't seen the team even like acquiesce to like making Westbrook better. Like, I haven't seen them spread the floor so Westbrook can get to the basket. I haven't seen them, set good screen and roll plays so Westbrook can get an easy assist or get to the basket. I haven't seen anything to even promote him playing better. And again, that can be on Westbrook. Westbrook can tell them, like, yo, man, I need to pick and roll. I need you guys to spread the floor or get out my way so I can get to the basket. It just, the team is just in such disarray. And this LeBron needs a good point guard thing just has to stop. It has to stop.
I mean, the whole bubble run, he was the point guard.
I know.
The blueprint is so obvious.
And why do they keep trying to change it? LeBron at the 1 and Carmelo at the 3 is better than Westbrook at the 1 and LeBron at center. Like, I mean, what are we missing here?
Somebody who can make meaningful decisions, apparently. Because the fact that Vogel has to get 45 games into the season, 50, like practically 50 games at this point, 50 games into the season, he has to get organizational approval to bench a guy averaging 5 turnovers
and shooting less than a guard shooting less than 70% from the free throw line. Like, I can't name another guard in the league. I can't name another guard in the league that shoots that bad.
I just, in some of the times I have seen Westbrook play well, very limited. He cuts.
Yes.
He cuts. People find him.
Yes.
But
you have to be able to play off the ball.
I know. You're coming to the fucking Lakers with LeBron and Anthony Davis, and you watch Russell Westbrook 95% of the time. Everything productive he tries to do, it's with the ball.
Yep.
Russ, you're not alone on OKC anymore.
Nope.
Like, there has to be something. There has to be team elements to your game.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened to the triple-double Russ who takes 7 shots?
It's never coming back.
What happened to that? That was the top-tier Russ.
I think he acts like he doesn't get the ball enough or something now. I don't know. I don't know.
That's what it looks like, though. That's what's insane.
Yeah.
It looks just so demoralizing when they pass him the ball and just give up.
That's where Vogel has to step in, I believe, because we saw how bad Westbrook was the last year, second to last year with Durant when Durant was gone. When Durant was on the team, but when Durant was hurt and Westbrook had to play alone.
Oh, yeah.
The way that team played was so bad. They won games, but it was like when they lost, it just looks disgusting how they lost. I know this is a long time ago now, but then Billy Donovan came and he found this mold that said, listen, Westbrook, just fill the stat sheet up. Steven Adams, get out his way. You just box out. Westbrook, let's just run with you. And it worked. He found a way to maximize what you have in Russell Westbrook. And I haven't seen Vogel do that at all. And don't get me wrong, it's not really his responsibility with a LeBron team because at the end of the day, LeBron is the one you need to be worried about maximizing, not Westbrook, right?
Yeah.
But I just can't. I don't know how, like you said, he's half a season in, 45 plus games, and you haven't went home at night and drawn up a new way to figure it out at this point, like at all.
That's what, like, they're moving too slow.
They are, man. They're acting like they have just plenty of time to
I know. I just don't understand. You're having the conversation. How many games did you essentially throw by saying, Russ, you'll figure it out. I have faith in you.
Definitely at least 30.
30 games. Like,
well, I'm gonna say throw because they still won, but they've definitely thrown 20 games doing that, lost 20 games doing that.
No, they're throwing games because you look at how they play in wins and how they play in losses, and it's two different basketball teams.
Yeah.
They look like you ever had to play pickup on the weekend and you didn't get enough sleep, like it's in the morning and you didn't get enough sleep that night.
Yeah.
So you're having like a really hard time the first couple games, like hustling and moving.
Yeah.
That's what the Lakers look like when they get blown the fuck out.
Yeah.
They look like they were out partying, they didn't get a good night's sleep, and they're all hungover.
Yeah.
But when they're playing Utah, they look like they're fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, they did. It looked fantastic against Utah.
That to me is where, like, all those guys who've been in the league and have been significant players in the league, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. But you know what else is kind of crazy about that? The Utah game was just, 2 games ago for them?
Yeah.
Was it right? It was right before the Pacers game, right?
I think it was the game before.
See, now the Pacers game is one of those games you say, Westbrook, figure it out. Because just last night we played fantastic and we got it done. You don't bench someone like after they looked good the game before. It's the stretches they go on losing 3 times in a row. Like the Jazz game would have been the game I benched them after we lost to the Grizzlies, the Kings, and we got throttled by the Nuggets. Then I'd probably bench Westbrook. You don't bench him after the best game he probably has had in the last 20 games.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think their decision-making on Russell has been either too slow or too, like, careful.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody, like, Vogel and LeBron should have the stature to be like, yo, he's playing like trash. Obviously, we're going to help him figure it out, but this isn't good enough.
Right.
And I don't understand. Is he beyond, like, blatantly calling out? Because honestly, the way they talk about him, it looks like they want to call his ass out, but they're like, I don't want to create that situation, which I get. But dude, 5 turnovers? I'm averaging 5 extra sprints a night because you're doing dumb shit.
Are you saying his teammates?
Yes.
Calling him out?
Yes.
Yeah, he's above that. Yeah. I'll tell you why he's above it is because Westbrook's venom, the Lakers as a franchise can't afford that. Like they can't afford that inner turmoil. Like obviously, Philly can afford it because Philly's like still a top playoff spot, even with Ben mad. And maybe the Lakers would be good, but Russ sells too many jerseys. He puts too many fans in the seats as himself. It's just gonna be a disaster if they did that because he's firing back at everybody because he always does.
Then the Lakers are more focused on the appeal of the brand than actually winning, and there's the fact that we're even debating them is a waste of time.
That's why they got him. There's no possible way they could have gotten him and said, this is it. This is the team. This is what we need to win. I don't believe that. I don't think Vogel, I don't think Pelinka, I don't think LeBron, any of those guys are that naive. There's no way. At least I could be wrong though. I wouldn't be surprised if they shocked me, but
that to me is the only saving grace they have. I still, again, if the effort is not exclusively Russ's fault.
No, it's
obviously.
Not.
Right. But like, just you're not good enough to allow a guy to play very poorly all the time
and it be your second best player.
Yeah,
quote unquote
starter in general. Like,
yeah,
at least role players who are very limited do nothing. Role players don't stay in, like Danny Green doesn't stay in the game when he's hacking instead of playing defense.
Right.
This is like, why can't you see that he's playing like trash, bench him significantly earlier than when the game is essentially over?
Right. Because, I mean, you look at when they had Rondo, that was one thing I was shocked that they did with Rondo. It was like when Rondo would go out there and he'd like miss 1-3 and then he'd like never shoot again. You remember that?
Yeah.
They threw him on the bench because he's just not doing anything. Like you said, at least role players can go out there and not do anything. But Westbrook, man,
you're hurting the team.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, right. Again, we're talking about the shooting percentage being low. The quality of shots is it's a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the fucking lowlights on the internet, it looks like a guy who doesn't, like, he literally has no brain when he plays basketball.
Yeah.
You're sizing up guys into pull-ups that are hitting the top of the backboard. And you're still hitting that size up like it's a go-to.
I know. And the back down to 1 foot fadeaway thing has to stop. I'm not sure if I've ever seen him even make one.
Dude, he doesn't even make those size ups unless he banks it, which never looks planned. It always looks like he's losing that shit and it just happens to go straight on line.
You're right.
His shots look so ugly.
Yep.
Everything he does off the dribble looks so ugly.
Yep.
And it exposes him because the moment he lost a step of quickness, he's an atrocious basketball player.
Yeah.
It shows that his skill level was always lacking.
Yeah.
Because now he can't get by you unless it's a hezzy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he does. Every time he gets the ball, he sizes dudes up the same way.
And he has to be stronger than you to get by you now.
Yeah, it's like he's losing strength or everybody else in the league is getting stronger. He's losing quickness or everybody else in the league is getting quicker.
Right.
He looks more washed up than Anthony Davis did.
Yeah, man.
And Anthony Davis was awful.
This LA team in general is looking toxic because Anthony Davis looked great championship year and he's just sinking into an abyss. And obviously Westbrook is trash. They really can't get anything consistent out of any of the role players. Even the role players that they seem to like, they're not doing anything.
That's because they don't generate any consistency with their shot selection.
No, they don't.
Like, is Austin Reeves a 3-point specialist, a cutter, a slasher? Is he like a fucking pick and roll threat?
I have no idea what he's good at.
What the fuck is his game?
I don't know.
Like,
no clue.
Why is Stanley Johnson touches the ball a lot one game, doesn't touch the ball at all the next game?
Yep. Yeah.
They're awful. And somebody has to take the fall for this. And Vogel is the easiest choice.
I agree. All right. Who else you want to talk about? Anybody else you had pressing?
How surprised are you that Ben is still not playing, by the way?
Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all. Still not playing, like as in playing for the Sixers, or still not like on another team?
Both.
I'm not surprised at all that he's not playing for the Sixers. I thought he'd be on
That's the
another
one.
team by now.
I did too. That one I did think he would move, but I had a lot of arguments with people like, at a certain point, like he's got to come back and play. But, obviously we talked about it. The situation was beyond repair.
It's far beyond repair. Yeah.
And Simmons, would I have done it how he's doing it? No. Mm-hmm. But he has committed to his pride and his self-respect. And yeah. I mean, I respect that from a guy, to be honest.
Me too. I do too. I have no problem. He's
losing a lot of money to do it.
Right. I have no problem with what he's doing because I probably would do the same thing. I've been called passive aggressive enough to know I'd do the exact same thing. If someone said that about me, especially guys that are supposed to be my boys, especially someone who's supposed to be a mentor to me.
And he hasn't like really escalated the situation.
I respect that too.
He after the situation played out, the playoffs, he said, "Fuck y'all, I'm done," and that's been the perspective ever since.
And the other thing is, like you said, he hasn't escalated it, and I'm confident that he does want to play.
Of course.
So I think that's the other big difference with him and like when Anthony Davis sat out for the Pelicans, I didn't think Anthony Davis wanted to play basketball at all. Like I never got that. Like I knew he didn't want to play for the Pelicans, but I was concerned even if he went somewhere else if he really wanted to play.
Yeah.
But Ben, I think if Ben gets traded, I think Ben would be playing the first game as soon as his physical is passed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more I'm watching these rosters, especially the ones that struggle to move the ball, I mean, he would fit right in.
Yeah.
And he really, he doesn't have to. A lot of people think of him as a point guard. Mm-hmm. He really doesn't have to be your primary ball handler.
He doesn't. He could be your Draymond Green.
Exactly.
And he a much faster, much better defender, Draymond Green. And I know people think Draymond's a really good defender. And for a power forward, he is. But if he was playing point, he wouldn't be as good of a defender as Ben Simmons is as a point guard.
No. He can't limit Trae Young like Ben Simmons can.
Or Luka.
Right. Or any of the more mobile perimeter guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, give me a team you think he would go to. I saw the Hawks and Sixers engaged in a talk for John Collins and Reddish for him, and a pick for him and Tobias. I wouldn't have liked that.
I'm trying to think of like a different situation that we haven't really heard too much about. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the longer he's not playing, the more. Honestly, man, I would like for him to go to the Rockets.
Okay.
I know he'd probably hate it because they're terrible, but I think the pieces there, the team is there to make a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I agree.
I think 1 to 2 off seasons of making good decisions, the young guys getting better and hopefully staying healthier. And this team, I'm not saying they're a contender, but they're a 40-win team. To me, no problem.
I agree. I think if they just had 2 players that could average 20 points a game, which I know is saying a lot, but it's really not saying that much. I think they'd easily be a 9th seed, 9th seed.
Yeah, and I think Simmons would open up the game for a lot of those guys. Because a lot of like the Kevin Porter Jr. plays with the ball more than I would like.
Yeah, he does. And he's a knockdown catch and shooter.
Exactly. And Simmons is a guy, Jalen Green's a guy, I don't really want the ball in his hands all the time.
Right.
I want him finishing. I want him attacking. I don't want him making the offensive decisions all the time.
Yeah.
And Simmons just cleans that up. He involves the bigs that I think don't get enough touches in Houston right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good fit all around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different packages too they could potentially offer, I think.
Yeah, I know Eric Gordon is one that needs to go. Wall, obviously. Eric Gordon and Wall is enough for me, for Simmons, to be honest. If I'm Philly and I'm doing as well as I'm doing, I'd take Eric Gordon and John Wall easily.
Yeah.
Because Eric Gordon is going to be playing. You know what he does. Comes off the bench. We have Seth, how he play already. He'd be great off the bench. And then, John Wall, we already know what John Wall can do. Yeah. Another guy. And if you want to bring John Wall off the bench, that's cool. If you like what Maxi's doing, but I think Maxi would be an elite 6-man for them. Elite. But I like what he does at the starting too, though. I mentioned before I would like him on San Antonio. I think it would be really interesting. And I think they have a bunch of packages they could put together. I think Popovich could play with his position really well. Even if it's not Popovich, because I don't think Popovich has much longer. I just think it's a very structured team. I think he would be nice there. I like that they play with people's positions a lot there, where it doesn't really matter what your weaknesses are, that for some reason guys go to the Spurs and all of a sudden they like find a new strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they've been weird because all their guys have seemed to improve individually.
Yeah. But the team isn't.
The core, it hasn't translated to the game.
Yeah.
Like they just can't put it together.
I think Ben could change that. I do.
Yeah. I could see that.
He'd probably jump center on that team, honestly.
What about, and this could be our last topic. What about Grant? Because he's been coming up a ton in all types of. I think there was a Simmons package that reportedly they declined.
Yeah, that would have been
because
nasty.
It was a pretty bad package. So
yeah,
I get it, but
I don't think either team would benefit from that either.
Dude, Grant could make somebody unstoppable
instantly. I think he would instantly make. I can't see a team he wouldn't help. Him on the Jazz would be fantastic. Fantastic.
Every playoff roster wants him. They should want him.
I think my favorite place is the Jazz, the Bulls. I think if the Suns were willing to let go of Jay Crowder at this point, Crowder's played like trash this year, to be honest. He does what he does, but this year he's been weak, and I think their team is kind of passing him by.
The other guys are getting better too.
Yeah, the other guys are getting better, and how they play, he doesn't fit it that much anymore. And I think Grant would fit right into what they do there, honestly. But I already know that's not going to happen. But the Bulls and the Jazz, Bulls are already contenders, Jazz are already contenders, but I think it takes them to that next level of like really being scary for the other conference.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they could make a package for him, but the Clippers is my pick.
That would be nice.
I want to see them commit to just playing elite wings all over.
Yeah. Super long, talented defenders. Yeah.
Because PG can slide to the 2.
Yeah. Yeah. He's probably a natural too. Yeah.
That trio with Morris isn't an ideal guy at center, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then like Reggie Jackson or whoever, to be honest.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. And then Kawhi stepping in there.
Well, yeah. Pray Kawhi is ready to play team basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But seriously, Kawhi, this was the first time Kawhi watched his team be successful without him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think them having that success in the playoffs that they did, to some extent, that has to be a wake-up call that, okay, this roster is good enough.
I agree, but it's going to take something really drastic for them to
Get
not
away.
just put it right back in Kawhi's hands. And are you implying that as like trade wise, or are you just implying
no.
Kawhi playing
Just a play style wise, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Because when he takes quick shots, they look so good.
Yeah.
They look so good when he's just like, even if he's isoing, when he does it quick, when he's getting mismatches or he's getting favorable spots. I mean, I've hated on him a lot, but I know the obvious. Like when he gets to the free throw line, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
He's like close to mid-range pull-ups, best in the league.
Yeah.
It's just the time, like he kills rhythm with his possessions so often.
Yeah, man. Like I said before, 3 dribbles. He needs to limit his game to 3 dribbles. I mean, NBA players do that in workouts, and they're king of the courts. They only use 3 dribbles. And Kawhi,
that's why I grew up playing king of the court. Like 80% of the time, you play with limited dribbles.
Kawhi doesn't play it, I guess.
Right.
I guess he just doesn't play with guys like that. So, yeah. But I agree. If he could come back and do his 3 dribble thing, let PG be the ball handler. He's the better ball handler just in general. And, I think they would work. I like when PG plays the point guard role with Reggie Jackson out there kind of off ball. Because Reggie Jackson, let's be honest, he's not a good point guard.
Not at all.
He's a good player that plays point guard, but not a good point guard. So they look better when I think they have a threat that can move the ball like Paul George. Great vision. Just, yeah. Yep. And then Bledsoe will probably be a 6th man at that point. But let's see who.
Final point. I just hope whoever gets Grant, I hope it's somebody that actually needs him.
Yes, me too, man.
I love Phoenix and Crowder has not been good, but they don't need him.
They don't
Utah.
need him.
Utah needs him.
They do. If Utah does not make a move to really look like they're trying to win, let's get to Utah real quick.
Okay.
This is the last thing.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead about Grant on Utah.
No, I just I have a bad feeling. I'm gonna want Chicago or DC or like Philly or anybody, and then Miami's gonna be like, oh, here's fucking this guy and this guy who's playing lights out. There you go.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson, Morris, and PJ Tucker for Grant, like something nonsense. Yeah, or the Kings will get him and he does nothing to change them at all. Yeah. The Jazz are a good team, right? We've talked about it a lot. We both love Donovan Mitchell. We both think he's an elite talent. But the Jazz have a problem that keeps getting exposed in the playoffs. And that's that everybody has to play well for them to actually beat a good team, including Donovan Mitchell. Donovan can get 50 and keep them in the game. But for them to actually sweep and beat a good team, they have to have a good 7 guys to have a really good game at the same time to get it done. And who was it the other night that worked? Oh, the Rockets. Donovan misses 1 game, and the Rockets is the worst team in the league. Beat them and make it look kind of easy. I mean,
I'll be honest, I don't think the Rockets are the worst team in the league.
No, they're not the worst team in the league, but they have the worst record in the league.
They had the worst first month, for sure.
They still have the worst record.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll give it to them then.
In the West, at least. They got good pickups. Daniel House is a great pickup. I thought Pascal was a good pickup. Rudy Gay was a good pickup. They didn't have Rudy Gay in this game either. But you had your starters: Conley, Ingles, Gobert, Bogdanovich, Royce O'Neal, and you're just missing Donovan. And listen, man, no disrespect to where's Bogdanovich from? They're not from the same place, but I know they're from like, nearby.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to get it wrong. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, no disrespect to Bogdanovich's country, his peoples. But 3 for 13 from 3 is not, it's not gonna work, man. That's disgusting. 3 for 13 from 3 in one game. He shot 13 threes in one game and only made 3.
I guess Donovan's out. They were like, yo, Bogdanovich, this is your night.
Like, you have to at least
okay, you want to see my JR impression? I got you.
You have to at least hit 6 to shoot 13 for me. Bro, 11 for 27. I mean, he's taking like Kobe shot attempts.
Have you ever looked at Bogdanovich and said, yeah, this guy's a starter?
Never.
In Utah, and this is what, the 3rd year that Utah's trying to convince us that he's a starter?
At the power forward. He doesn't even play power forward.
Forget the position, because that's another Utah problem, that they think they're like they could just win positionless basketball against anybody.
It makes me so angry to watch.
That infuriates me in itself. But I just don't understand he's capable of getting 30. I understand. I agree with that.
Let's be honest. Every NBA player is capable of getting 30. Everybody who plays a lot is capable of getting 30. Everybody.
Jordan McRae could go out there right now for any roster and put up 25.
Yes.
And he's not good. Like,
exactly. Rodney McGruder can give you 30.
100%.
Like, come on. Just because Bogdanovich does it sometimes in less shots than those guys, they just think he can be Kobe every game. That Donovan isn't there. Royce O'Neal is like, he just goes out there and just hustles the whole game, but has like absolutely no positive impact on the game. He plays pretty good defense, just pretty good, but nothing else helps the team win at all. And
they're like, with Royce O'Neal, the problem seems to be either we're too confident in him or we have no confidence in him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no middle ground. Rudy Gay gets a middle ground his first 20 games, but Royce O'Neal, who's been there for years, who you've developed and turned into a rotation player, can't make any adjustment.
And, the jury is still out on whether he's a rotation player or not for me. And
I agree.
Jordan Clarkson, defending 6th man of the year, was minus 15 off the bench. He came in and the Rockets just started eating the team up every time he was in the game. I mean, like, come on, man. Like, no one on your bench should be minus 15. That's really, really bad. I know I value the plus.
That's embarrassing that your 6th man is minus 15.
Yes. I
told you, bro. I told you they don't value the most important aspect of how teams like prepare for each other. Matchups.
Yes.
They routinely, like, they're the only team I watch in the league that switches everything by choice. Clippers, too lazy. Warriors, a lot of energy, right? Everybody's flying around. Miami's the same thing. Milwaukee, same thing.
Yeah.
They're the only ones who they switch everything, but they're not committed to like really playing that hard.
Right.
Or they switch everything and they're watching a bum get 15 and a quarter and there's no change.
Yeah, they go into games thinking we're going to make them defend us and we're not going to worry about how we defend them. And Bogdanovich gets exposed. Royce O'Neal gets exposed. Gobert gets exposed. And honestly, Donovan and Conley are the only ones who don't game to game get exposed on the whole team, in my opinion.
The only ones. I completely agree.
Against the Lakers, Clarkson was minus 17. And I'm not saying Clarkson's not a good player. He's a good player. But okay, all the starters are out. Just put Clarkson in there and let's just watch him. That's not how you win the games. Clarkson and Ingles is not your 6th and 7th man, and you have no other good players in the game. You can't win like that.
Yeah.
And if they don't play great, it's a 100% loss.
Yeah. And it's just you can't play such a limited style and then go in the playoffs, have no room for adjustment or change, and then think like we're gonna just keep running it back.
Right.
Like you can't afford Donovan getting a sore ankle.
Right. To the Rockets. That's the thing. It's not like they played the Grizzlies or the Warriors. They played the worst record team in the West. I know they're not the worst team, but come on, man. You're supposed to be a contender, and you go in, you lose one guy, and you lose to the worst record team in the West. And I like I like the Rockets. I think the Rockets can beat anybody, but if they beat them with Donovan, they just beat them. But losing like that with Bogdanovich shooting like that, and they have no room for one player to have like a really bad game. Anyone having a really bad game, they lost easily. It's just.
I'm just sick of guys. Everybody they sign turns into one job on offense, one job on defense. Like basketball does not work like that. That's why Terrence Mann got 40. Has he had a 20-point game all year?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. He put up 40 in the playoffs. Stanley Johnson had a 10-point quarter.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they keep looking at these kinds of performances and think like, all right, we'll keep Gobert out there. We'll continue to play small positionless basketball where Clarkson will get switched on to fucking Devin Booker and get eaten alive in the postseason.
Ingles gets switched on to like Montrezl Harrell and get eaten alive. Like it's not even, don't even have to be a good power forward. Ingles is checking them. They're going to expose them. And I know I talk a lot of trash about Ingles, but he's worse now that they've limited his role as much as they have. Like I didn't have a problem with Ingles like being on the team 2 or 3 years ago. I know I joked about like I didn't like Ingles playing, but I don't think he should even be on the roster anymore. Like it's at that point to me that they've limited him so much that he gets in the game and it's like he looks like he is just looking to see, oh, what can I do, and not have an idea of what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Oh, we need someone to pass the ball. Okay, let me make a bad pass. It's just crazy, man. It's not good. It's not good.
Their coaching has been average for too long.
Yeah, they keep giving him extensions. He has to be like I don't know if there's a list of the highest paid coaches, but he's up there for sure. Because that last extension he got was like OD. I remember.
First of all, this team, as good as they are now, there's a countless amount of coaches that could step in and keep this team just as good as they are.
Oh, for sure. The guys at home with no jobs.
Exactly. It's time to take the risk. If you're not going to make the roster risk, you got to make like a structural risk at some point. You keep looking like the top of the West in the regular season, and you walk in the playoffs average.
Donovan has to step up, man, and say, look, man, this isn't it. Like, I know Donovan is a good dude. Like, he's a really good dude, very loyal guy. But you have to put your foot down, man, and just say, look, some of these guys got to go because this isn't it. They lost. Listen to the teams they lost to, and versus the teams they beat. Beat the Celtics, beat the Cavs, beat the 76ers, beat the Wizards. beat the Mavericks, beat the Timberwolves twice, beat the Nuggets. And then we lose to the Raptors. You lose to the Pacers. You lose to the Pistons. You lose to the Lakers. You lose to the Rockets. You lose to the Spurs.
All
Come on, man. What are you doing?
teams.
Huh?
Or mostly non-playoff teams.
Yeah, and then they beat the Wizards, then came back and lost to the Wizards. I mean, come on, man. I don't understand. And this was in a row. The Raptors, Pacers, Pistons, Cavs beat the Nuggets, came back, lost to the Lakers, the Rockets. That was what? 7 out of the 8 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They got some work to do, seriously. Some serious soul searching. Trade deadlines coming up. I think they should just go ahead and make a big, I'm not saying blow it up, but they should take a risk for real, because
I'd take even the risk if I like Conley, who's one of the more dependable pieces. If I could get Grant, I'd take that risk.
Conley for Grant?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
It's to me, I need the play style to have to change.
Yeah.
It's guys, there's too many, like 3 years straight, guys are coming in to fit the play style.
Yeah.
Grant's the way he plays is so explosive that he emerges out of that.
Yes.
They don't have enough of that. Mike Conley came in, he just fits into what they do because he's a vet.
Yeah.
They have every fucking member of the roster fits what they do.
Yeah.
They have more than enough of fit what we do.
Yep.
And I need something different.
The 4 out 1 in is just, it's not cutting.
Oh God, the fucking handoffs.
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm stupid? You think I don't know Joe Ingles only goes left?
Yes.
Or Bogdanovich only goes right?
Into the corner. Bogdanovich would dribble right to the corner every time.
Their players are so limited, and it's almost like other coaches know their players' limitations better than Quinn Snyder knows their team's strengths.
I'm with you. I mean, I think that's a fact. Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. And to me, I think Royce O'Neal and Ingles and maybe even Bogdanovich, all 3 of them could go for one really solid piece. And I'd be straight. Or like 2 nice pieces. I mean, honestly, if they could snag the Ben Simmons, let's say they went Conley, Clarkson, Ingles for Ben Simmons and Tobias. Is that not an easy trade for you?
I wouldn't even think. I wouldn't, like, normally you gotta be like, I'll hang up and talk to my people and call you back. No. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'll mute, talk to my people. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, you promise?
Exactly. I need you to write out this agreement ASAP.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, seriously, either of the Pacers bigs, either one, pull the trigger, man. We need something.
The
Dragic would be cool.
I think the issue is, and to your Donovan point, like because the team is they're winning games every year. Yeah. They're a good position to at least make a run every year.
Yeah.
It looks like the selfish move to put your foot down right now.
Yeah, it does.
But the problem is you continue to act selflessly, and you wake up a decade later, you haven't gotten past the second round, and the organization is making you sick.
Damian Lillard. He's had the chance for 8 years to get rid of McCollum. Portland, and I like McCollum.
How many years are all this? Are either like Charles Barkley's excited about Portland, or this other analyst is like, "Oh, Portland is the dark horse." We've talked about Portland countless times.
Yeah.
That's where Donovan's career is going, and it'll interfere with Portland. We did not see it coming like we're seeing it with Utah.
Right. And in Portland, they've had so many guys leave, that they thought had promise. The problem with with Utah, these guys are going to age out. Donovan's what, 25 or maybe 24.
He's got to be mid-20s. He's been in the league for what, 3-4 years?
Yeah, and you think he came after his sophomore year? Ingles got maybe 2 years left before Ingles is like a bench, like straight bench, maybe not play. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And Conley's playing good, but how much more does Conley have as a starter? Not that long.
I'm not gonna lie. I watch now. I know he's having a good year, but I still watch him now, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Right. Rubio's getting kicked around the league. Rondo's getting kicked around the league. Conley is not that far from them to me. So they're going to age him out. Gobert is going to age him out soon. I mean, I think Gobert will still be effective because he's huge and he has good legs, but the league is going to change. Yeah. Bogdanovich is balding. I mean, how much more does he have?
No, I'm completely with you, but
so
it's tough for me to look at them and think they're going to do drastic things with their role players.
Yeah.
Because they always seem hesitant.
Yeah.
I think how many places would Joe Ingles going 3 for 13 or whatever bad shooting percentage he gets?
Yeah.
How many places would he have gotten benched at? Miami for sure.
Milwaukee, I was going to say I can't name any teams he would still be playing after that.
Maybe Golden State.
No.
But he'd have to be doing other shit well to stay.
Right, yeah.
And he's capable of that, but only going left, unfortunately.
He's capable of going like 0 for 8 and having a double-double with assists and rebounds. And at least he's affecting the game.
But too many times he's 0 for 8 and he's not touching the ball for any other reason.
Yeah.
Or he's 1 for 8 and he's touching the ball all the time, even though Clarkson or Donovan or Conley are on the court at the same time.
Right. I mean, even Clarkson is another guy. I mean, I know Clarkson is 6th man of the year and he's a elite off the bench scorer, but I mean, you can always make an upgrade, man. There's always somebody that can fit the team better. There's always somebody that is gonna add a different element to your game.
Yeah.
And
I think a philosophy change could help them too. Of just, I feel like they don't encourage their guys to improve their versatility.
I agree.
Like you're just encouraging guys to get better at what they're already working on.
Right.
You need creative versatility in the playoffs.
When's the last time you've seen Donovan like dunk off the dribble?
He didn't get one. I feel like he got one in one of the Wizards games.
I saw him catch a lob in one of the games, like a backdoor lob. But my point is, those first 3 years, he was coming down the lane, banging on people like every week. And he still can, but the paint is not as open as it was at those times. And all they changed was Clarkson and Bogdanovich. And, it's not that obviously
they're the
not
only
just
team.
them.
They're somehow the only team in the league that could go small and not open the paint for their star player.
Exactly. The 4-out-1 in
is a fucking problem.
Because it gets to the point where you say, okay, do I want to stop Donovan from dunking on the whole team, or do I want to let Bogdanovich, who's 3 for 13, keep shooting? It's easy. Go 3 for 15. I'm not letting Donovan get 50. So it's like, the problem is none of the guys are good enough for you to even care about anybody but Donovan still. So
yeah.
But anyway, that's enough for today. We will come back, talk more about the All-Stars coming up, maybe some mid-season awards.
Got a music episode coming up.
I'm Stripe Music Show feed coming. That episode, you'll see a new feed. And obviously the AFC NFC championships. You got anything else? Anything pressing that we missed?
Not that I could think of. I'm excited for the football playoffs, man.
Yeah, me too. Big time. Big time. All right. Well, thank you for listening. As always, please subscribe, follow, share. Instagram is back working. Gonna keep stuff coming up there. Some engagements and everything. Until then, we'll see you guys.